the 24 solar terms. Moreover, the total 28 pillars represent the 28 constellations. It is the only Ming-Tang-style architecture survived now, and the carrier of Chinese ancient literature. Another important architecture of Garden Valley Altar is the Huangqian Hall, located in the square courtyard surrounded by Qinian walls, connected with glazed doors. It is a Wudian-style palace, covered with blue glazed tiles, below with white marble columned seats. It is a palace especially for worshipping the god and emperor's ancestors. One day before the sacrifice, after emperor's worship, Minister of Rituals will do his worship and god cars will be carried to Qinian Palace. Plenty of works should be done before the Memorial Day. First, the architecture and facility should be renovated. Every street from Forbidden City to Temple of Heaven would be repaired to a completely new look. 12 days before the Memorial Day, infants would be sent to observe the ready livestock. 3 days before, Emperor began to have a feast. 2 days ago, he got ready the congratulatory message. Last night before the Memorial Day, Taichung Temple director leads followers to display the god cars, vessels, sacrificial offerings. Music club get ready for their play. At last, ceremonial master would have a complete inspection. Temple of Heaven is not only the pearl of Chinese ancient architecture, but also the treasure of world architecture history. In 1998, it was declared World Cultural Heritage by the UNESCO. In 2009, Temple of Heaven was elected as one of the biggest surviving imperial worship architecture by Chinese Association of World Records. World Heritage Committee has done following evaluation about it. Temple of Heaven was built in the first half of 15th century, located in Imperial Garden, surrounded by green pines. It is a well-surviving temple complex, whether the integral arrangement or single building, all reflects relation between heaven and earth, which is the core in Chinese ancient cosmology. At the same time, the architecture reflects specific function emperors have in the relationship. Fate is the result of human mind, generating with the formation of human social ideology, representing human beings' original consciousness, a symbol of human being going to civilization. In Class 30, rulers especially define sacrifice to heaven, listed it into the category of the feudal etiquette, and made it an important aspect of national political life. Temple of Heaven is the sacrificing altar of ancient Chinese emperors, and a result of Chinese long history of sacrificing to heaven. Its grand architecture, various cultural relics, not only record emperors' wisdom, fertility and wrath, but also record Chinese people's aspirations and wish. passing through 2,000 years wall, condensing Chinese nation's infinite wisdom and creation, imbued with splendid history sum through ages, the Great Wall still stands there sticking to the splendid borderland. The Great Wall is the large-scale military engineering built in ancient China to resist rogue tribes' attack. From first Emperor Qin, emperor of every dynasty would strengthen the Great Wall. Great Wall stretches for thousands of meters from east to west, so it is called thousands of meters wall. With Tiananmen, terracotta warriors, they are regarded as a symbol of China. The existing Great Wall is the relics of Ming Dynasty in 14th century, whereas Badaling Great Wall, located in 60 kilometers away from northwest Beijing, is the best swell part of Ming Great Wall. It is not only the important military pass in Ming Dynasty, but also important protective screen of Beijing. Badaling Great Wall is one of the 9 best military passes in the world. This part of Great Wall with dangerous terrain is the important outpost of Juyong Post. A saying goes that Juyong's danger lies not in the pass, but in Badaling. Badaling is an important military place in ancient time. In order to protect from rogue tribes' attack, the Great Wall was built here in spring and autumn period. There are still relics of it. Its trend is the same with Ming Great Wall. Badaling Great Wall was built in 1505, taking as long as 80 years. Great anti-dwarf soldier Qi Jiguang came here to guard and get defense. Through more than 80 years construction, Badaling Great Wall forms the tight defense system. Use danger to create pass by terrain is an important rule to build a Great Wall. Badaling Great Wall fully makes use of the terrain built along the mountain back. Some part is very dangerous seen from outside of wall, but gentle inside, with an effect of easy to protect, hard to attack. Early in 1988, Badaling Great Wall was added into the World Cultural Heritage by the United Nations. World Heritage Committee judges it as the longest military installation of the world. At the same time, it has great artistic value. The Great Wall is the backbone of Chinese nation, recording Chinese long history. It is just like a dragon passing through mountains, bold cliff, crossing vast prairie, desert, up and down on the top of mountains, galloping in Huang River and Boise coast. Ming Dynasty is in late Chinese feudal society. From first Ming Emperor Zhu Yuanzhang defeated others and became emperor in 1368, then pushed over Yuan Dynasty's rule. Two farmers' insurgents broke through Beijing. Emperor Congzhen hung himself in Mei Mountain. There were 16 emperors altogether in the 277 years reign. Ming 13 mausoleums located on the hillside of Tianshu Hill is the general term of 13 emperors' tombs after Ming Dynasty moving to Beijing. Tracing back to Ming history, except Ming Xiao Mausoleum on the south of Zhongshan, where Ming's first emperor was buried, Emperor Jianwen disappeared because of Jiannan battle without leaving a mausoleum. Emperor Jingtai was buried outside Spring Hill of western Beijing. Other 13 emperors were all buried in Tianshu Hill, so it is called Ming 13 Mausoleums. As famous Chinese Asian Mausoleum Museum, 13 Mausoleums takes the mysterious Imperial Palace, brilliant mausoleums as exhibition theme. Special historical relics displayed represent the long history of Ming 13 mausoleums and exquisite craft of Asian working people. In 2003, Ming 13 mausoleums was added to World Heritage List. World Heritage Committee made judgments as following. According to geometric theory, the size of Ming imperial mausoleums was selected elaborately. Architecture was dexterously displayed underground. They are the result of people's changing nature, reflecting traditional architecture and adornment thought, explaining 500 years authority view of feudal China. From building Long Mausoleum in 1409 of Ming Dynasty to building Si Mausoleum in early years of Emperor Shunzhi of Qing Dynasty, the building of Ming 13 mausoleums lasted for more than 200 years. The mausoleum, occupying 40 square kilometers, is the biggest surviving mausoleum complex, which has the most emperors' mausoleums in China or even the world. Ding Mausoleum is one of the 3 biggest mausoleums in 3 mausoleums. Occupying 180,000 square kilometers, the layout is square in front but round at back, containing the ancient Chinese philosophy round sky and square earth, mainly including Ling'an Gate, Ling'an Palace, Bao City, Ming Purlin and palaces underground. Ding Mausoleum is the mausoleum of Ming Dynasty's 13th emperor, Emperor Wanli and his 2 queens. Emperor Wanli is the emperor in reign for the longest time, and a symbol of dissolute and laziness. He ascended the throne at 10 years old and was in reign for 48 years. Early in reign, reform was carried out and the economy was booming. In late period of his reign, he often ignored the state affairs, making state more and more corrupt. Before Emperor Wanli was born, Ding Mausoleum was built, completed in 6 years, spending 8 million liang silver. Emperor Wanli was just 28 years old when Mausoleum was finished, not used until 1620, idle for 30 years. In the middle of 1950s, an archaeological plan tried to solve all secrets in 13 mausoleums, but finally only 1 mausoleum was opened. That was the Ding Mausoleum. In fact, Chang Mausoleum is the first goal in the excavation plan. Chang Mausoleum is the biggest and best preserved one in 13 mausoleums. However, the research to Chang Mausoleum was not successful. Finally, archaeological team decided to find another mausoleum to excavate. Through many researches, Ding Mausoleum came in the sight of archaeological team. The underground palace of Ding Mausoleum is made of stones, mainly the huge blue stones without beams. Inside the underground palace, there are 7 white marble stone gates of fountains, designed dexterously and flexible to open and close. Along a longitudinal axis displayed 3 big palaces: front palace, middle palace, and back palace. the same as architecture on Earth. Middle Palace displays sacrificial utensils, 3 white marble stone seats. There is a set of yellow glazed fire supply and a porcelain jar in front of the seat. The porcelain jar was full of lamp oil for lighting the Changming light. Coffin platform of back palace displays coffins of Emperor Zhu Xujun and 2 queens, and beside the coffin are 26 red-painted wood boxes full of funeral objections. Though for half a century, there is a debate on the execution of the Muslim, almost judged as an irreparable mistake. The reason is that abandoned treasures were not protected, important relics were damaged, and it is a pity that many mysterious cultural signals and phenomena were not recorded. What amazed the archaeological field is that through this wrong excavation, a big mystery was found: the funeral service of emperors, which is the gesture of the dead body in the coffin. There are 3,000 cultural relics unearthed from underground palace of Ding Mausoleum. Except a few sacrificial vessels, most are the articles for daily use of Emperor Wanli and 2 queens, including 4 natural treasures: gold crown, phoenix crown, the glowing